Today, on Guess What I Found Out, we're going to discover some facts about the Gray fossil site, a place that proves one universal truth. Tennessee once had a better climate, cooler animals, and apparently, red pandas. Yeah, Curious George, 5 million years ago, eastern Tennessee was less country music and Dollywood and more prehistoric Florida with tapirs. The Gray fossil site is one of the most important fossil discoveries in North America, and it was found by accident because someone tried to build a road. That's right. Tennessee went to pour asphalt and said, "Oops, we hit the Pliocene." Before we start digging deeper, pun 100% intended, go ahead and like this video, because if a bulldozer can find dinosaurs, the least you can do is find that like button. So picture this. It's May 2000, Gray, Tennessee. Construction crews are slicing into the ground for a new highway. They expect dirt, maybe a rock or two. Instead, they find ancient bones, lots of them. So, picture this. Scientists rush in, dust off the area, and, well, they realize the bedrock is 480 million years old from the Paleozoic era. But the fossils sitting right on top? They're only about 5 million years old. Translation? They dug through ancient ocean rock and found a lost lake from the Pliocene. That's basically like unearthing a 90s floppy disk on top of a Roman ruin. Scientifically speaking, it really shouldn't be there. But there it was. A perfectly preserved prehistoric lake ecosystem, complete with tapirs, turtles, alligators, and, believe it or not, Tennessee's unofficial new mascot, a giant Appalachian red panda. See, Tennessee used to be covered by shallow tropical seas. Yes, your grandparents' state was once a beachfront property. Back in the Ordovician period, about 480 million years ago, ocean waves left behind limestone just packed with ancient marine fossils. Then, the sea pulled back around 320 million years ago, replaced by swamps, which eventually became coal beds. And then, well, silence. For about 30 million years, Tennessee's fossil record just stops. Because, well, instead of new sediment piling up and preserving things, the landscape just eroded away. It's like Mother Nature hit delete on a third of the state's geological history. That is, until Gray. This random sinkhole filled with water became a natural fossil trap, perfectly preserving the remains of an entire lost ecosystem. We're talking alligators, mastodons, saber-toothed cats, all hanging out in what was basically a Pliocene version of Tampa Bay, minus the theme parks and tourists. So, what was Gray, Tennessee like back then? Imagine a warm, swampy forest full of oak, hickory and cypress, buzzing with life. More Jurassic Garden than Jurassic Park. While most of North America was turning into dry grasslands, Gray stayed forested, acting as a refuge for non-grassland animals. It's like the last cozy Starbucks in a desert of McDonald's, you know? That's why so many species that should have gone extinct elsewhere actually survived here. And that includes our favorite prehistoric oddball, Pristinailurus bristoli, the Appalachian red panda. This guy was bigger than today's red panda, weighing up to 15 kilograms, had a smaller false thumb, and was more of an omnivore, meaning it ate plants and meat. So just picture a chubbier, more flexible, I'll eat what I want version of a red panda. Basically, the college student of the animal kingdom. The Gray site gave scientists 2 nearly complete skeletons of this Appalachian panda, the best fossils of red panda relatives ever found outside Asia. So yeah, Tennessee has red panda fossils. China has the real ones. And Florida still has crocodiles. The South stays undefeated. The grey fossil site also blew open another mystery: how animals moved between continents. Before grey, most scientists thought red panda ancestors stayed in Asia. But Pristinailurus showed that around 15 million years ago, forests stretched across the northern hemisphere, connecting Europe, Asia and North America. Animals like red pandas, badgers and rhinos used this forest highway to spread across continents. Then, when the climate changed and grasslands took over, those forests shrank, trapping isolated populations in little green pockets like grey. Basically, it's evolution's version of a group chat that got awkward and, well, everyone left. Now, here's the fun part: how everything stayed so pristine. The bedrock under grey is limestone and dolostone, and when weak acid like rainwater hits it, it dissolves slowly, forming karst landscapes with underground caves and sinkholes. One of those sinkholes collapsed, filled with water, and became a lake. Animals drank from it, fell in, died, got buried, and voila! Instant prehistoric time capsule. Because the lake was oxygen poor and sealed by sediment, nothing rotted. That's why the fossils are so well preserved that scientists can even identify tiny plant seeds, pollen and turtle shells. This single site filled a 30-million-year fossil gap in Tennessee's geological record. That's like finding the missing chapter of a book scientists didn't even know had a chapter missing. So let's loop it back to that bold claim: Curious George. Tennessee accidentally uncovered one of the most important fossil sites in the country because someone tried to build a road. And we proved it. Roadwork exposed a prehistoric sinkhole packed with fossils. The fossils revealed a lost ecosystem full of tapirs, gators, mastodons and red pandas. It filled a 30-million-year geological gap, rewriting our understanding of Appalachian history. And it showed that Tennessee was once a forest refuge for species from Asia and Europe. So next time you see a road crew, just remember, they might not just be laying asphalt, they might be paving over prehistory. Now it's your turn, Curious George. Do you know any other accidental fossil finds? Share them in the comments. I read them, steal the best ones, and feature them in future episodes. And if you love science, sarcasm, and stories about humans stumbling into million-year-old secrets, stick around for the next episode.